Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. We on here for Winning Wednesdays. We about to get Miss England on here, y'all. What is up? Miss England!
Sis, can you hear me?
Miss England, yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
It's so good. How are you?
I thought you was on vacation.
Mama, I said I'm gonna do today. And then my heartbeat's going to roll in for the rest of July
I
and
know that's right.
the August.
So this your last day before vacation.
Yes, this is my last day before my vacation. Yes.
Oh man.
I wanted to go out in the bang because I know we have new heartbeats.
You definitely got some new heartbeats.
So I'm gonna have to do some refresher. So we'll be going to wait until give about 2 minutes for everybody to come in, because we're going to talk about because we have new people. We're going to first talk about what is Winning Wednesdays, how would the rest of the year look, and what we decided the team that I had worked with that would be doing the next 3 sessions, what we decided to do out of the project that we would like to do for Winter Wednesday. And so we'll talk about that as well. Like what we decided to do to be in line with Winter Wednesday and what HeartSmiles is doing and immediately at your fingertips. So we'll talk about that.
Okay, so what project?
So first, let me say what Winter Wednesdays is. So let's get started because they're going all align, right?
Yeah, let's do that. You got something on your screen too. What's that?
I don't know. You know what? Let me take this off. See, I was trying to be fancy, and I have a little fur case.
Yeah, you had a piece of hair.
No, that was the fur. Okay, got a fur case. Don't come with the hair. My little fur case with the jewels around. Thank you.
Yeah, that little fur case is killing us. We good now, though.
I love you, yo. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Winter Wednesdays. I have been missing the energy for Winter Wednesday. I'll be needing it. So, my name is Miss England, Chanel England. I'm also work with HeartSmiles as a mentor, but I'm also the mom of Stinker Butts and Hardcore as well. Which that doesn't really mean anything because they get the same treatment like every heartbeat. So I just want to put that out there. That doesn't give them first choice of anything. They work hard and have to apply just like everybody else. So what is Winter Wednesday? So Winter Wednesdays is a safe space that we sit, and usually we will meet on John Hopkins, and we will come in and we will talk about daily things that affect our community. When we're talking about trauma, generational trauma that goes from like somebody in your family may experience trauma, the next thing you know, it trickles down to generational. So when you're talking about like addiction and you're saying, oh wow, addiction been in my family, and it has trickled down because your bloodline had that addiction in your family. So we talk about, even though what we may be faced with or the things that we may been going through in life and the trauma, and maybe our environment is not what we want it to look like now. So what Winter Wednesday does is it allows us to feed our soul. And what I mean by that is that it's a no judgment zone for one, because believe me, I tell all my business. So I want to put that out there. It's a no judgment zone, and it's a space where you're able to, after all you've been through, it's like, wow, I could finally find strategies to making sure my soul grow. We're not talking about everybody. Yes, we may have some connection spiritually, whatever way that looks like for you. We don't say that this is for God. I'm saying strategies for life to heal our African American community. Strategies where you could take, and it could be just 5 minutes, simple things, and you can go to your friend and say, man, I was stressed out too, and I did this, and this worked for me. So it's just about how do we have strategies for our soul that align with the purpose in our life? And then when we align the purpose in our life, how do we do that strategically to feed our purpose, to be funded, to be taken care of for the rest of our life. So what do that mean? That means I'm learning who I am inside. I'm learning how to deal with things as it come, no matter how much it is, the suffering, the trauma. I'm learning I can still show up. And then once I do that and I have aligned that with what my purpose is, I'm going to seek my purpose based on how I feel with my soul. And my purpose is going to financially support me, pay my bills and everything because I have done the work. This is a process that takes overnight? No, I am 41. I'm still learning. A lot of times, most of the time, all the time, honestly, when I bring things to you guys, I already done the process. So I'm going to really be telling you what it looks like. How does it feel to go through that? Because that's one thing I understand in our community. We don't like to feel. We like to enjoy when we feeling good, when we have a great moment. But when suffering and trauma comes, we shut it down and we don't feel. And so what happens when you don't feel it at that moment and you pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, eventually those feelings come out and they may come out negative that can impact your life forever. So what Winter Wednesday does help you align all of that things. So because I will be on vacation, I have 3 heartbeats who have been in my training, and we kind of had to cut the training short because I didn't realize that, my vacation was this week. So, but they do have assignment to making sure they come back to their training so they can get their additional hours, so they have to do a video. However, so one of the things at the training, they had to really just look at some questions just about who you are and just pick some questions out that best are for you. Because remember, this is for the soul. I can't have people in front of you who hasn't done the work with the soul. Not saying that they are better, not saying that they made it, that they got it. It's like, no, we discovered that we matter to the world and we have something to give. And we're going through the process with Miss England to find out who we are. And they want to share that with you. So they decided their own topics. They decided how it's going to look. And one thing that was a request was to download an app. And what this app is, it allows you at your fingertips to touch. If you're depressed, you touch it and it might come up with a video. It's just a little app that they could play around. And so I was telling them yesterday at the training, like, I want to know how y'all feel about this app. Joni could do the comments. Because some people asking questions. Okay, I'll get Joni to get the questions. Thank you. I have my see. She be on it. Thank you. She like, man, you can look at the questions. Joni got me, bro. Thank you. See, she do well. But so I asked them to look at the app because the app talks about like, how do I boost my self-esteem? How do I go to sleep at night? Like, if we have little songs that put you to sleep, stuff like that. So what I asked them to do, download the app, go through the app, right? And then what I have to do next week is really tell me, like, is this app for us? What I mean by us, that people that look like us. Because I think the person who developed the app doesn't look like us. So which means how they feel, how their environment and what they went through will be totally different from us. Because I want to say why I say that. We came from a generation that was enslaved, that was always had to be strong no matter what. No matter what we see, what's going on, we always had to put a face on to be strong. And through that generational, it comes down. Now we out of slavery, but we still walk and talk, and still when we are going through things, that we still feel like we have to be strong. And some of that could be a mental health that we don't address it. So we want to make sure that we want to propose to HeartSmiles. Well, we will come to Joni with a whole proposal, but right now, we want to propose to do an app. She already have an app that's developed with Joni. We want to put a mental health part on it where kids can tap it at the top of their finger and say, if they're going through depression, somebody comes up that looks like them and say, here, take these steps, breathe 5 seconds. Something simple. We know it's going to take a while, but we're just trying to figure out other apps that offer that. And do they offer it for people like us who are living in Baltimore City, that look like us, that are suffering and going through a lot? Because our journey of healing looks different than any other culture. And we want to make sure that when we talking about Winning Wednesdays, that is always in aligning for success. Okay, go ahead, Joni. I see the smile, so that means stop talking.
No, you good. You good. Yeah. Look, man, look, I'm just happy that you're here because I could have sworn you said you was on vacation, but I heard you just say it. You said you was on vacation, but you was still coming to go
Yeah.
over today. So that's
Yeah, I had to because I didn't want to when on Wednesday show up and they see the babies and they not really understanding the process. So I wanted to let them know in my vacation time, it will be some heartbeats, but I want you to also know too, they've been through training to do this.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna just speak to people right fast, and then you got
Okay.
a question on here real quick. But we got Kayla. I think Kayla's a new heartbeat. So welcome,
Oh,
Kayla.
welcome.
Winning
Welcome.
Wednesday. We got
Welcome,
Taylor.
heartbeat.
What's
Taylor,
up,
yeah.
Taylor? Yo, James, Central Creativity. What's up, James?
Yes, that's my PR. There you go.
What's up, Micaiah? Hey, real spill. That sound like one of our success session heartbeats, new heartbeat.
Okay.
What's up? Good to see you here. Kamaya Success Sessions already.
That's right.
My girl, man. Tiara, what's up? Tiara's definitely one of our success session heartbeats. What's up, Tiara? K Supreme, also a success session heartbeat. What's
Okay.
up? We got
Right.
King Core. Yeah, Corey here. What's up, Corey?
Yes, Corey.
Yeah, Kaya, they crave K. What is up? Booski Show. I ain't seen you in a minute, Booski Show.
Okay.
Yo, Jayla here. Jayla's one of our new heartbeats from Success Sessions. What's up, Jayla?
Welcome.
Natasha Bennett too. I feel like that's one of our Success Sessions, new heartbeat. What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, Lene is here. What's up,
Hey,
Lene?
Lene. I was
Y'all
just
already
asking
know
about
Stinker is
her.
here.
Yes.
Elder, what's up? Tony
Hey,
Keys.
Elder.
Hey, Naeem. What's up, Naeem? Yo, good to see y'all. Journal Jade wants to know how can she sign up for training?
Oh, wow. That is amazing. So
Yeah,
when I come back,
Chaos Smoothies too. What's up?
yeah. So what I'll do when I come back from vacation, I'll meet with the 3 young ladies that done the training so I can get some feedback so I can make sure that I done what I'm supposed to do and the things that I missed that I can build that. So that will be coming. Thank you for asking. That's wonderful.
That's
We need that
awesome.
because the goal is that once you've been trained, we won't have to do this, like, yes, we doing this virtual, but my goal that I would love for you to do, for my heartbeats to do, is I would love for y'all to do healing sessions which in your community. Oh goodness.
Yo, we got something going on.
Yeah, and I would love, yeah,
Isn't that
what I mean?
hardcore and Q is doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know they doing it. Yes. But
What's
like,
up, Bree? What's up, Brandon?
yeah, so basically something like that where we just go in our communities and just have them talking, our young people, because I used to do it years ago, but I think it would be awesome to have a young person to facilitate that and just talking about just healing, like just go in and say, I want to do a healing section on violence. And you just allowing people to talk and being open. But the thing is, when you're facilitating this, you have to understand and know where your limits are. You have to know who you are and your triggers, because you don't want to be facilitating a session and maybe it's about violence and you have experienced trauma with violence and it triggers something in you, and then now you can't give your all to the community. So that's why the training is important, because it allows you to go through the process. And they got it easy during the training because I had to kind of shut it down because of my vacation. But and anybody who know when they come to Winter Wednesdays on Wednesday in person, it's more of a feel. It's like how you feel. People, you literally was finding out who they were and crying in session. So this training is the first one. It was a little easy because they got a touch on their soul, but they haven't got deep yet. So they're going to do some more training as well.
That's awesome. Yo, I definitely shouted out Chaos Smoothie. She gonna say I ain't even say Cam. I definitely shouted out Chaos
Sure
Smoothies.
did. Yes,
What's
you
up,
did.
Kev? I know I did. She gonna have to catch the rewind. But what's up, Kev? Always good to have you, man.
Any more questions? Oh, cool. Any more questions before I move on of what we're going to talk about today. Because I know, we don't have that much because we keep running our mouth, and everybody know me and Joni could do this all day.
I know. And yo, I definitely said what's up to Kamaya, yo. Y'all missing my shout outs. What's up, Kamaya? I definitely said when you watch the rerun, you're gonna see I definitely shouted you out. What's up, Kamaya? Success Sessions. No, no more questions. You just had a couple people kind of ask that same thing. Can they sign up for the training? So
okay,
like people are excited, which is
I just want you to understand the training is not about me. So what I mean by that is, and even when on Wednesday, it's not about me. I come on Wednesdays, the heartbeat comes on Wednesday. We provide jewels and we provide strategies, which mean I used to tell the young people, get a notebook, take the notes, because when Miss England is not here, you want to be able, when something happened, you can look at your phone and be like, okay, I'm aligning, I caught it, and then you can start digesting things in your life. And so like today, because, we're starting back up and we may have another wave of COVID. So today we just going to talk about like, how do you rise up after life, knocked you down? How do you still show up for success? How do you still show your best self during a situation when mentally that you like, I'm not for it. It's them days you wake up and you just not for today. And it could be something that you experienced yesterday, or it could just be you have so much on your mind and so many suffering and pain that maybe I just can't get out of bed today, right? And so today, that's what we're going to be talking about, because Success Sessions just started this week. Things are opening back up. And as we talking about how do we rise up, we also want to make sure that when we're rising, we recognizing the things around us that's distracted, that's our distraction. And we have to recognize it. And I'm telling you, when you learn how to recognize it, you'll learn how to approach it and move on, and don't be worried or start being really, really scared. So what I mean by that, one thing I tell everybody is born here for a purpose. So once you realize that, again, everybody who know Winter Wednesday, I say we all born with a purpose, but as we grow up in life, our purpose gets struck down to our toes because we've been through life lessons, which mean if we've been in an environment that was negative, it make our purpose go down because it takes our self-worth, because now we don't believe that we are anything or that we can help someone or be a part of society and give back. That's not true. So one thing I want people to understand is human beings, you're born with a purpose, and your purpose is connected to someone else so that y'all be birthed something on earth to make a difference. But you have to figure that out. I mean, like, it took me really like this year to really figure out my purpose. I'm saying I knew my parts of my purpose, but I didn't understand the puzzle to that. But I also wasn't looking for it, right? So how would it appear if you're not looking? But also with a purpose, it's distractions. Gotta understand that. You just like haters. They, you get what you want, and you're gonna have people watching us hating. Same thing. Spiritual soul, same way. Once you started elevating to your purpose on earth, what happens is the universe start bringing distractions. Because why would I want you to do your purpose on earth? Why? Because I know that if you do your purpose and you align it into everybody that goes with your purpose, you're going to birth and you're going to heal generations. Do people want generations to be healed? No, because why should we have generations healed when we can keep them on welfare, when we can keep them in addictions, and that way we can keep, having these addiction programs and putting money in things to band-aid a problem, but why not do it right? So what that looks like, distractions. Example, you wake up, you tired, you don't want to get ready for Success Session. You said, I'm gonna hit the button. Success Session started 10, right? Not 9, because I said 9 last time. 10?
Yeah, no, it's 10.
Okay, Success Session started 10. You get your alarm out. You're going to be great because you have been preparing mentally. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to get on Success Sessions. I'm going to listen. I'm going to have my notebook. But what happens the next day, you get up, you're tired, you hit the alarm, then you get up, then you might have hit the wall. Now your feet hurt. Now you just, the whole mood messed up. Distraction number 1.
Or your whole computer just don't even work. Or your whole internet don't even work. Because that's how we figured out that that Facebook is our backup.
Okay.
Because the whole thing, nothing was working.
You
So
see that?
I'm
The
feeling
stress.
you on this. I'm feeling you on this.
So
but wasn't
that's
nothing about to stop us from having that session.
Exactly. Distraction number one, right? Okay. Now you find out your stuff don't work. Now you can't even log in. Distraction number two. Then everybody hitting your phone. Why you ain't on? What you doing? What you doing? Your mentors. Distraction number three. And then when you start realizing it's your distraction and you calm down and understand, oh, that's a distraction because what I'm about to receive is going to birth something in my soul that's going to hit my alignment to who I need to be. So you got to understand and you got to take notes. One thing that I heard somebody say a while ago is write down your distractions. Oh, that's 1, 2, and imagine at the end of the day and look and say, dang, I went through 10 distractions today and I still good. I ain't break down. I ain't go cry in the corner. I kept it going. That's when growth starts. But
sometimes them distractions, people, Miss England.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother. Let me tell y'all, distraction comes in all types of ways. From your family members to the person you're in a relationship with, to your best friends, to people you don't even know, people you look up to, your mentors. It's designed. We just have to figure out what's the game so we can go to the next level. But it's designed. And right now we are 0, like at the Monopoly. We ain't go past go yet. Because we haven't understand what is the alignment, what is the purpose, and how do we count our distractions so we ain't got to worry about it. So I know today I had 10 distractions. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna be good because I know they're gonna come harder. Yeah. Any questions? I'm sorry, y'all got to hear my baby in the bed.
No, you good. You ain't got no
any questions
yet. But thank you, Bree. And what's up, Bree? I see you in here for clarifying with Tony. What's up, Tony? That these happen every single Wednesday, Winning Wednesdays.
Yes, Winning Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Kay said she need this right now.
I'm telling you, Winning Wednesday is a whole vibe. You know what I mean? It's a vibe. And sometimes I'm gonna be honest, some people can't get the vibe. And believe me, on Wednesdays when we in person, y'all think this vibe is serious. When we in person, or we go deep. And like deep. Like they lucky. Let me tell you how lucky my first cohort was with this pandemic that we doing this online. At the end of the program, they had to look in the mirror and talk to themselves about love, about the eye. They had to look in their eyes. They had to talk about love. They had to talk about how they love themselves. They had to look and say, you know what, I love you in spite of what we've been through. They had to do that. But guess what? Pandemic came. And they were terrified because I ain't telling them what day was coming every day. Do we gotta look into the mid? Nah, it was real. Because I realized that we could send y'all to school. Y'all can get all A's. Y'all can go on and go to college, or maybe not go to college, get a trade. You could be a bomb and be a millionaire. But if your soul ain't right, and I ain't talking about just church, but I'm talking about as a human, if your soul ain't right and you don't understand what a purpose is and distractions and your alignment, it's like you did all that for nothing.
We got a bomb question here, Miss England.
There we go.
From Kaya, man. This is deep. She says, what if a person is in a situation with you where they have to be around, but they are the distraction?
So, yeah, I experienced that, family member, you got to live with them and they're a distraction. What I realized, what worked for me, honestly, was that I had to sit back and think about why they're a distraction for me? What is the trigger that make them a distraction? And for me, once I realized, so for me, I'm gonna be really honest, my distraction was my grandma. I love my grandmother to death. She listened to me and everything. But sometimes she could just do some things and it could be a distraction based off the history that I have with her as a child. I never understood why I get irritated all the time sometimes, right? And two, I had to go back into childhood and say, that's why that's a distraction. It's a trigger from when I was a kid and she made these comments when I was younger that I never forgot. So now I don't care how great she was. Well, I learned to forgive, but it was like at the time, it was like, no, I don't care how great she was. I was always something that was just keeping me not to give my all. And so once I realized where the trigger came from and how that made me felt as a kid, and I let it go and I forgive, now I learn when they do things that may seem they used to be a distraction, don't bother me no more because I understood where it came from, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Can you speak a little bit too on like intimate type relationships? Because I think that for some people too, it might be different, like a family member relationship versus like a girlfriend, boyfriend, partner
So
type
girlfriend,
relationship.
boyfriend relationships. So what I have noticed in our community, African American community, is that we love to, a project. We like, man, that's my boyfriend, but yeah, he ain't got it all together. And he got some issues, but I can work with him, right? I'm going to help him. So I find those type of people sometimes could be a distraction. I find out also that, how can I say this? Some relationships is just for a lesson, right? And which mean is that if I'm in a relationship with someone and they are a distraction, first I need to go back to the root why they're a distraction. Are they a distraction because they won't allow me to go be great to who I am? So it's like I want to be on success session and they said, no, I want you to hit this blunt and chill with me. Or, that type of stuff, like you're trying to go this way and they over here, or they're a distraction because they are putting you down in your self-worth. What you have to understand is that you have to deep eat and do some thinking about you. Because again, you have to figure out what's the trigger. Why does it get you so bad that they're a distraction? And then when you find out what's the trigger, ask yourself if it's really worth it. And one thing I find out in our community too is we'll stay with pain so we won't be alone. Because we think alone is, we feel like being alone is bad. Actually, alone is great because we have to learn to be in a relationship with ourselves. And I had to learn that. Like, how can I be in a relationship with somebody else and I don't even know myself? So here I'm trying to figure out me and them. And so when they do things that I'm trying to figure out myself, it become a trigger because I don't even know myself, if that makes sense.
Oh, that make a lot of sense. And you speaking directly to Kamaya and Kaya, she just kind of put it out there. She like, my distraction is once again my child's father and his family, and everybody put in my head that he has to be around. And she wants to know, like, would it be wrong to cut the family off when they are distracting you, even if you feel some type of way about it?
So as a single mother who deal with baby fathers, okay, because I got baby fathers, I'm gonna be very honest. At this age, they're a little immature. They're really immature. So what I'm gonna say to you, what I had to do for my children and my safety, I didn't feed in. So what that mean is, you don't call, I'm not calling you. If you do call, I'm listening. If you do something that you say something disrespectful or rude, I'm hanging up. I do not entertain ignorance. Your family calling and it was rude, I'm hanging up. I'm not responding for what? When it comes to my child, and when you talk about safety, if it came to the point I felt like my child was unsafe, my child wasn't coming, and that was just it. That's just what it was. But because I was a single mother at a young age, you have these families sometimes, and I'm gonna say I was blessed because I had a family that supported me when I was younger. But sometimes you do have some families that get in the baby mother, baby father things and really don't understand. So when I'm gonna say what I did for me was I put my big girl pants on and I took care of mine and I ain't asked for nothing. If he gave, he gave. If he didn't, he didn't. Was it hard? Did I cry sometimes? Absolutely. But what it did let him know now that I'm older is that no matter what, my child will be taken care of. And Chanel ain't got time to be dealing with that. I don't care who you date. I don't care who you're with. Now, when it becomes to a point that you are about to marry a woman that's going to be in my child's life, then yes, I would love to sit down with that woman and have a conversation because that's a person that's going to be with you forever. Other than that, I cared less about who they was dating. I didn't comment or nothing. And when they called ignorant, what you have to realize with people, and it's for anybody, if somebody's being rude to you and you don't respond ignorant, they look stupid. You just, when people do say stuff and be rude and you constantly do that, what happens? They
You
stop
take
doing
all
it.
their power away.
All of it away, honey. And when I realized that they had my power and how they was kicking, they was getting a kick out of me going back and forth, and we going there with just all of this, and then I'm mad and I couldn't really attend to my child because I'm like, oh, they irking my nerves. And once I realized, I ain't gotta respond. I ain't gotta say nothing. But did I do the child support stuff and all of that? I haven't, because I have a different feeling about fathers on child support. That's just my thing. So I just do and take care of mine. And if I tell people all the time, I tell their fathers all the time, your child's living. Your child is need. Nobody should pick up the phone to say, do you need Pampers? Just bring them. So why would I call you to say your child need? Because I don't have to do that, because I'm here. So your child don't have to call me and say, can you get me Pampers? I have to make it happen. And when I ask you to get your child and you say you can't do it, I have to keep them anyway. So I might as well create a safe space, build myself up. And what I mean by building myself up, I was young. So what I did was I went to school for hair. Then, I did hair on the side. So I did things that would build my capital, my money up, and build my skill set up. So even though I was in high school, after I got a high school, I went to get my degree because I understood that I couldn't depend on nobody. Because one thing about when you start depending, people put restraints on what they could do. So when you start depending on him paying your daycare and paying stuff like that, then they put restraints. No, take care of yourself and it'll be okay. Was it a hard process? Absolutely. But one thing I can say, my children, most of them are almost grown. They always come back and say thank you.
Yo, Jayla got a great question too. She says, how do you avoid distractions without becoming a problem? Speaking towards my attitude and without being disrespectful.
So Jada, first we have to figure out why you have an attitude. Like, that's everything. Like, why? Like, what is it that you just have an attitude? Like, I have a daughter that sometimes just have an attitude too. Like, but she had to figure that out. Like, why? Because it's not the distraction. If you're waking up with an attitude or having an attitude, Jada, it's something deep you're dealing with, Jada. And it's deeper than you think it is because you don't even want to address it. So what happens, it naturally addresses itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's Jayla, new
Oh,
heartbeat.
Jayla. I'm sorry, Jayla. I apologize.
But Kamaya was agreeing, basically saying the same thing, like something that I'm working on is not yelling or raising my voice when I'm upset, and doing the whole extra lashing out thing. Like, yeah, that's definitely a self thing.
Yeah, and that's a process because when you just, you got to think about it, Kamaya. If you've been doing this all your life and you're 15, you've been doing it 14, 13 years, right? So it's a process. So if you do lash out, you have to, if you go back and think about it and think and reflect and say, how can I do better? But if you don't, so say if you get in an argument and something happened, you usually lash out and you sitting back taking it in and you don't. Man, go in that bathroom by yourself and celebrate and jump up and down and be like, look, I ain't even go off today. I'm doing good. It's a process, but we have to be good with ourselves. We have to award ourselves. If that's jumping up like, yes, I ain't cussed that person out today. Yes. Like reward yourself because it's a part of change and it's a step.
Yeah, no, and shout out to Stinker for being real because she's saying she need to work on her attitude, which is absolutely true. And
absolutely.
Jada said, I normally have an attitude because after a while I'm getting tired of everyone keep ignoring the way I feel as a person and everyone keeps running over me as a person.
And who was that again?
That's Jayla.
Jayla, so I understand because what I hate is when people try to tell me how I feel. When you be like, let me tell you how I feel. And they be like, well, I don't think you feel, well, how you gonna tell me how I feel? But what I also realized too, working with a lot of young people in high school, nobody listened to y'all. Nobody don't really ask. Like, I really be like, I found it really like, amazing when I would say, you know, every morning, I love y'all, or how y'all doing. And when I say how you doing, they come back, and next thing you know, we sitting down and they got a whole story for 2 hours. They was just waiting for somebody to say how you doing. They be like, well, Ms. England, let me tell you what happened last night. And I'd be like, okay. So what I'm saying, Jay La, is that try to find somebody you can talk to that hear you, right? That listens to you, that understand what you're feeling is real. And you know, that's how you'll be able to get it out, because I do get it. Y'all don't have a chance to have conversations. And as a mother of teenagers and a young lady that's in her 20s and a young lady at 8, 7, I have to sometimes bring it back. And I have to listen to my children, because as a parent, you always, I need you, and this got to be done. And this is why I feel this way. And what I have learned, because what I do this work, is that I do the work in the community, but I have to also do it in my home, because what that looks like. I'm healing the community, but I ain't healing my home. So I had to step back, because I will see in my children's face, like every time they try to talk, and I be, and then I could see I was making them feel less than, because I didn't give them a chance. So I had to, and I'm gonna be honest, y'all. A lot of adults don't want to hear what you gotta say, because y'all might be right. Like, really, because there be times I be fussing at my kids and I go off, and I feel like I got a valid point, and I'm letting them do this talking back stuff, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna hear what you guys say, because they feel. And when they feel, I realize I was petty. And I just be like, but I'm just saying, though, that part ain't get done. But I just want you to understand, sometimes, especially adults, and it could be your parents or people around you, they may be afraid to hear what you got to say, because you might hold them accountable. And adults don't like to feel like they wrong. And what it had done for me is that when my kids hold me accountable, it give me time to, I sit back and I won't say nothing for a while, and it give me time to reflect, because sometimes I'm human. And it's not a book to say how you raise children. And I may have been wrong on some things of how I approached their feelings, how I treated them. So I have to go back now and say, you know what, y'all, I'm sorry. Like, real stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. So I don't want you to ever feel like nobody want to hear me. Nobody don't understand. Sometimes adults don't want to hear you, because they don't want to really feel, because that's pain. When you know you as a parent is responsibility, is certain things you're supposed to do for your child. And when they say you ain't do that, oh yeah, that means you got to do a whole self-reflection as a parent. So sometimes adults don't want to hear that. So find somebody that you could just truly be yourself, and allow yourself to feel the pain. Take time to feel your pain, when you know it, because it's valuable, because you can understand and recognize what happened when you feel it. Do your head hurt? Do you start shaking? Like, recognize the signs of your body as well.
Yeah, yo, I love it. I agree with Chaos Smoothies, man. I loving the transparency. Hardcore says, I need to work on communicating my feelings opposite to taking them out on people. I think that's a very, very valid thing.
And I think it's only because, you know, as humans, like the young lady just said, you know, not being heard. So you're going through a day, all day, where you have these feelings and nobody not listening to you. And then all it does is take somebody who loves you, say, why you do that like that? And you blow off. And they like, well, dang, why you do that? And it really wasn't for them. It's because you didn't allow yourself to feel when it first happened. Allow it. No matter where you at. Allow yourself to feel like, okay, I might not like this. And yeah, my head hurts. So, and make sure you take care of the signs, because you're human, you know? So don't be afraid just to feel your pain. It's okay. And I'm going to tell you why we have so many addiction in the world, because people don't want to feel. People say, if you ever talk to somebody that been on drugs or alcohol, they will have a story for you. And they'll just be like, I just couldn't handle it. And that's because they don't want to feel it. We got to feel it, y'all.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And Stinker had a really good comment that says, it's like when I tell people about how I feel, I come off as disrespectful. Also, I hate when people tell me I have an attitude when I'm done. And I personally know that, but it's like if I didn't know
No,
Stinker,
you ain't gotta tell
then
me you
I would feel the same way, but that's because of
your
the
relationship.
delivery. Yeah, my relationship allows me to not take it personal, but if I didn't know her, then I would then definitely like I would just be like yo,
I'm
this
not
child
dealing
is
with her.
yeah, not at
You ain't
all.
gotta tell me. If she was in
Not
my school and she walked there, I'd be like, this little girl right here.
not at all.
But see, I think stink, and this because stinker, I really think is because you feel like you gotta have a ball up. Like if where you go is like, I feel like maybe I may be wrong, but sometimes a lot of people who do that, they be the sweetest person in the world and have so many skills, but their delivery, you be like, oh. And I think it's just that, just who they are. One thing about Stink, you got to come with facts for her when it comes to any situation. When you come into her with like a situation, you got to come with facts. But again, I think based off again, Stink, we need to go back to your childhood and what you've been through, because I think there's some barriers that you haven't dealt with is still sticking with you, whereas though you don't even feel comfortable. So before you walk in the room, you already put up a song up. Like, let me let them know, don't play with me. But it's okay.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm going to say is that she's still very young and you still got time to grow into your professionalism.
And
And
yes, she
like,
does.
yeah, you haven't really took no classes or learned anything about, like body language and, all that type of stuff that's, well, not that you don't know about it, but you still got to be put in spaces to actually practice it and to like
Exactly.
get good at it. And that's all. That's all.
And
But
yeah, she
everybody that
still
know her
gotta
knows she a
also,
sweetheart.
she is a sweetheart. But again, if we ain't know her though. But one thing I like about Sting, because she switched code. What I mean by that is it's different when she goes in and run with business than what it is when she goes in for pleasure, for fun. If you pay some attention, she have two different personalities that you have to pay attention. When it's business, she have this look like I'm about business, but then when she goes in for just, we just chilling and we doing heartbeat stuff. Yeah. So we have to figure that out, Stink. So we'll work through that.
Definitely, Cam. I agree. Cam said, we need people to reach out to us and just listen. And Lewis, Drippy on here. What's up, Drippy? He
Drippy,
said,
I miss you, Drip. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't seen Drippy in so
I
long.
know, I know.
Drip. Yes, Drip.
Drippy
Drip,
rolled
reach
out
out to
on us.
me. Yes, reach out to me so I know how you doing, Drip.
He said, what if you don't have anyone to talk it out with? And what about the kids who don't get to have a childhood? Feel that.
Yeah, I feel that one too. Yeah. So if you don't have anyone to talk with, I suggest, even if you don't like to write some things down. Um, Try to use the strategies that we try to give and write them down, so when things happen, even if your phone, like even some of the strategies I use today, is try to go back to that and reflect. And I know it's hard, but Drip, you can reach out to me, so you shouldn't have no excuse. But we're gonna leave that alone. But and those that don't have no childhood, yeah, Drip, that right there is so hard, because I've seen so many of my friends go through that, right? Just living and have to work and have to do so much. I'm gonna just say, keep being focused, because you will be rewarded. Um, your universe see everything that you does, and it seems like it's so hard, but I guarantee you it's building you for where you're going in for the future. Everything has an alignment, we just don't see it. But it's a part of your journey to make you stronger for whatever it is that you have on earth. I do want to apologize for every child that who have not experienced a childhood. I want to apologize for all the doubts in your life. I just think that, I don't know your certain circumstance, but as an adult, I want to apologize. But I want you to also know that your hard work won't be unnoticed. It just seems like that right now. It seems like nobody not looking. It seems like you're not being rewarded. But when you look back and you think about the skills that you have been provided and all the people you network with at a young age, now you at a certain age where you might can retire earlier than others. Um, or you know what I mean? Or, you know, you could do things that people your age not doing with networking. So I do apologize that some young people have to deal with that, but I don't want you to look at it as negative. I want you to turn that narrative around and you write your story. Don't let nobody write your narrative. Nobody write what you going through and how your life going to end. When I was young, they wrote my narrative. They said I was going to have a whole bunch of kids and I was going to always be in the hood. I wrote my own. I ain't in no hood. I got kids and I love them, and each kid came with a degree. So them same ones ask me what they doing. They calling me for jobs. And I'm still giving them to them because that's just who I am. It's about building. So, you know, don't let people write your stories. Don't keep those images in your minds when they talking negative about who you are and where you're going to be. It's all about you. We got to learn that those voices and those messages that we hear every day in our life that people probably said to us to a long time, you have to learn how to talk back. And me, I do talk back sometimes. Like, listen, I might hear, Chanel, you ain't good enough to be in this setting. And I'll say, I'm good enough. But you might be on a bus or whatever, and you might have something that comes up in your mind. If you can't talk, write it down. It might say, girl, you ain't ready for success session. I've been ready. I was born wonderful made. I'm just waiting to get my tools so I can get to my purpose. That's how you got to talk back to yourself.
Yeah, I love it. Miss Amy, can you touch real quick because our time running low on
Yes, I just noticed that. I'm like,
I
what is
know.
going on?
You got to touch real quick on complicated relationships with parents because they going off in the comments about it.
Listen, y'all, I'm trying to get Joni. I'm trying to get Joni to a workshop where I could do with parents and you guys. So let me tell you about this parenting thing. Don't come with no book, right? And if I ain't have it all together, if I ain't had people around me, I wouldn't know what kind of parent I would be. And I'm saying that to say, parents don't come with books. They deal with their own experiences. You don't know half of the things parents may be going through and still have to provide. I'm not saying get them a break. I'm just saying that we have to learn how to mend these relationships. I'm going to try to work with Joni to do some workshops.
Yo, Kaya just said you would think me and my mother was two females in the streets that hate each other.
Kaya, I've been there.
Like,
Kaya, let me tell you, it's funny you say this, right? Me and one of mine, we can get like that because we just alike. So what I mean is that, and this is so honest, Kaya. It means is that when I'm heated, I talk street to her. Like I'm about to throw you out this door. Like I'm about to drag you down the street. But for me, it become a trigger because it's like she going back and forth with me. Like she thinks she can handle me. So it become a trigger where I do kind of be disrespectful. But again, I have learned ways to communicate with my children better. But it's just sometimes parents be like, they can't get the best of me. And I know so many women who having the same issues with their children. And it's because honestly, y'all really don't know each other.
but Miss England, I get that, but one thing I can honestly say is neither one of your kids, and I know them, they would never say, yo, my mother hate me. Or you would think me and my mother was, we was just two females in the street. And I know what she meant when she said the word females. Despite what y'all go through, your kids would never say that about you.
Right.
So
right.
like this type of situation, like.
And it's so sad, Joni, because if you would do a survey on that, it will be really high in numbers because it's again, that's why we got to heal communities because parents not right. They need to be on Winning Wednesdays, right? Because how can I give the tools to my child if I ain't even address this stuff in me? And I might see something in my child that I wish I could be, and I can't. So now it looks like my child become my competition and not my child. So it's so many scenarios, and that's one thing that I'm glad that you spoke up because that's one thing I do want to work with Joni in the future, where we have the parent and the child and we do things together because we got to learn how to love one another. Because what happens is, I know so many kids when they say, when I get a certain age, when I move out, I'm never coming back. And it creates hate in your bloodline. because now you put something in your bloodline that could be generational, where now you got to have kids and it might come back around and your kids say, I don't want to have nothing to do with, no, we got to break that. And I hate to say this, sometimes the kids got to break it more than the parents, because the parents think they right. And
so
they
gotta
don't
hear
get
some
it.
of these comments, Miss England.
I already know. I work with kids and I get it.
They going in. Kamaya said, I hid the fact that I smoked weed from my mother for 4 years. I hid the fact that I lost my virginity because I didn't want her to be upset or tell my business. And she was like, my mother thinks she communicates the right way and she doesn't. And Stinker was basically confirming, yeah, your attitude is just the same. But then even Chaos Movies, like, I wish I was closer with my mom too. And she feel like she closer with her dad and he don't even live with her. And then Jada, like, what if you don't even want a relationship with your parents because you can't heal because you're still suffering? Like, yo, this is crazy. And Bree's like, I sit in my room all day and don't even talk to my mom because whenever I say something, I feel like she either being smart or she not listening to me, and I hate it. Like,
and that's why I think,
yo, that's
so
crazy.
let me ask this, Heartbeat. So if we do a workshop where in person where you could bring your parent, and we would, I would never describe it as a bonding thing. Would you be able to bring, you think you would bring your parent to something like that? And it was just, so it won't like we will go in and tell your parent y'all doing it wrong. What it do is provide strategies the same way we do for Winning Wednesdays on how to bond with your children. Because what I find out is that as parents, a lot of us don't know our kids. So they don't ask or say, you know, how was your day on success session? What are you doing right now? Like, some parents don't, because they just don't. And then let's be real, and I'm not saying they is right, but some of them do what their parents used to do. And so, for instance, my mother never told me she loved me forever. And the only reason I started telling people I love them is because my dad died and I didn't tell him, and he was my world. So everybody that I love, I tell them, because you is not leaving this earth, and I know that Chanel don't love them. And my mom, who was an addict, she was doing her addict stuff, but she never, I would say, "Ma, I love you." She would never respond. So one day she said it back. And recently, mind you, I'm 41. Okay, went through a lot with my mom because she's been in the addict and all the other things. And recently she said, "You taught me how to love, because I never knew what love looks like." So sometimes we have to change the narrative in our family's generational curses as well.
Yeah, I wish we had more time for this conversation. Our time is completely up.
Yo, you for
But
real?
yeah, y'all.
It's not. Listen,
Yeah.
y'all. Listen.
They
So
Craig K, like my mom was, my mom wouldn't even show up.
I believe it.
Even Kamaya, like she
let me
invited us
tell
to a
y'all what I
virtual thing.
did.
She
We
ain't
gonna
do it.
make this work, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I did before. I'm gonna just tell you what I did, and I'm gonna give y'all some jewels for those who dealing with the things with their parents. One is what I did before to get parents together. I ain't say no bonding. You know what I did? I said we about to do some wait and exhale. Yep. And with some some music, some drinks, and some crab. They was there. They ain't had, but see what happened as the music, we stopped and we have conversations and we talked and we did things. But when people came in, all you had to do was put a question in a box. Like, it could be, my mom made me feel bad, with no name, and I will pull the question and we'll talk about it, or quote. And that's how people start healing, because they didn't know where these quotes came from. So I know how to play the game to get people coming, don't worry. But what I want you to understand is this: I'm apologizing for all of your parents, mother or father, who have made you feel less than, they've made you suffer or have pain. I also want to ask that I pray for them, because I feel like they got things going on that they can't even give you what you need, because they ain't deal with the stuff that they got in front of them. Also, I want to let you know is this: everybody, every human, no matter who you are, were born wonderful made. We're born with a purpose. And the sad part about a purpose, when you got a good one that's going to change generation curses, you have serious distractions. And distractions like that could be your mother or your father. And you be saying, dang, Miss, I don't understand that. I had to tell somebody before, like, you know why you keep getting distracted and being attacked? Because your purpose is so huge. It said the distraction in the world said, I gotta get them to not get it to that purpose. And the only way I could do that is get somebody close to them and make them come to tease. Because then that person close to them ain't gonna believe in them, and then they ain't gonna want to do it. So all I'm gonna say is, during this time, get it. Telling you, and I'm gonna just say this from the Bible because this is from the Bible. It says that suffering is promised. It's promised that we go through things. How we go through that matters, and how you change your narrative for you and your children matter. If you don't want to treat your child the same way, start building what love looks like and start doing that. So now your parent will say, "Oh, it's something different about her. What's going on with Chanel?" Because you start showing love, and they never know what that looks like. So on that note, I love all of you guys.
Thank you,
I'm
Miss
looking
England.
forward to y'all. See y'all in 4 weeks.
You gotta hurry up and come back from vacation, man, because this ain't, yo.
It's a
We
hard
need
topic.
you. Yo, it's a hard, yo. And Breezy Bree, like, I be wanting to talk to my mom about a lot of stuff, but when she found out I was gay, she basically took it as a joke, and it just made me shut down and move away from her.
Man,
Like,
listen,
yo,
that right there,
it's so much.
I have a whole I have a whole session for that because I'm a mother of 2 children in a community, and I just want to say I went through something too, but we gotta have a session. That's
We
all
gotta
I'm
have a
saying.
session. Thank you so much,
And
Miss
I might do
England.
that on the side and have them that just show up. It might be a Thursday or
Yo,
Tuesday.
whatever, y'all. We gonna do it, whatever. You
I
let us
got you.
know. But thank you so much,
I
Miss
love
England.
y'all.
We love you more. We'll see you later.
All right, sis. Fix
All
your
right,
face.
bye-bye.
They gonna be all right. They gonna be all right.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Y'all, another great winning Wednesday. Y'all, don't y'all just love Miss England? Yo, I love these real just conversations, yo. Like, yo. And Bree, baby, you something special. And I'm so sorry if your parents don't realize that, if your mom don't realize that, but hopefully you'll come out of that, stronger. And chaos smooth, as you already know, I don't know how many times I could say it, yo. If I had kids, if I had a daughter, it would be you, yo. So I mean, you are amazing. So I deeply apologize that you guys got to go through that. And Kaya, I can't even imagine, baby girl. I can't even imagine. But we want to continue to have real conversations like this. And we definitely going to make sure that if at the very least we support each other, like, because blood don't necessarily make you family. Like, yo, we family up in here. You too, Drippy. Even though you come in and out of the situation, you won't be consistent like you supposed to. You family as well. So, we got each other, and we're going to make sure everybody good. And thank you so much, Naeem. I see you. But y'all, that's Winning Wednesdays for the day. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Miss England won't be on vacation, but I know she got it lined up for some heartbeats to facilitate her sessions. Thank you so much to all of the new heartbeats who joined us tonight. Like, this is what we did, like, consistently, aside from our success sessions that y'all join on the daytime. This is what we do on Wednesday nights, on Thursday nights, and then depending how I'm feeling, that's going to determine on how Fridays go. But all right, y'all, I'll see y'all next Wednesday for Winning Wednesdays.